The fever breaks, but the nightmare is just beginning. Puberty is a chaotic transition for any human being, but for you, it is the exact moment your biology actively rebels against your humanity. Deep within your cellular structure, the dormant X gene violently activates, rewriting your DNA in a matter of agonizing hours. Your bones ache with an impossible pressure, your skin burns as if you were standing inside a furnace, and your senses are flooded with terrifying new stimuli. When you finally open your eyes and look in the mirror, the person staring back at you is gone forever. You're no longer Homo sapiens. You're Homo superior. But the comic books and the Saturday morning cartoons lied to you. Being a mutant is not about wearing colorful spandex and saving a world that hates and fears you. It is a grueling, terrifying existence defined by prejudice, government registries, and giant killer robots programmed to incinerate you on sight. And the type of life you will lead, the exact flavor of your suffering, is entirely dictated by a cold, clinical, scientific hierarchy. You are categorized by a Greek letter, and that letter determines your destiny. The absolute bottom of this genetic lottery is the Epsilon level. If you're born Epsilon, your mutation is nothing short of a cruel biological joke. You do not get the ability to shoot concussive lasers, read minds, or control the weather. Instead, your mutation is entirely physical and overwhelmingly useless. Your skin might turn a translucent, gelatinous purple, or you might grow an extra set of vestigial, non-functioning arms protruding painfully from your ribs. You possess a physical deformity so severe that you can never, ever pass for a normal human being, but you gain absolutely no combat or defensive power to protect yourself from the mobs that will inevitably chase you with baseball bats. As an Epsilon, you are a monster without claws. Your family looks at you with profound disgust and terror, and society immediately spits you out. You cannot walk down the street, you cannot go to a hospital, and you certainly cannot get a job. For the Epsilon, the surface world is a death sentence. Your only option for survival is to descend into the cold, damp, completely dark sewer systems of major cities. You join the Morlocks, the vast underground community of outcast mutants who are too hideous to live in the light. Your life becomes an endless cycle of scavenging through human garbage for half-eaten food, sleeping on filthy mattresses in abandoned subway tunnels, and constantly fighting off deadly, subterranean diseases. You live in a state of perpetual, suffocating darkness, listening to the rumbling of the trains above, knowing that millions of humans are living comfortable lives just a few feet over your head. You hear rumors of a beautiful mansion in Westchester where wealthy, human-looking mutants play heroes on a perfectly manicured lawn, and you feel a deep, burning resentment. You are the ultimate victim of the mutant condition, forced to carry the visual stigma of the X gene without any of its glorious benefits. If you're slightly luckier, you manifest as a Delta-level mutant. Unlike the Epsilons, your mutation does not alter your physical appearance in any noticeable way. You look perfectly human, which is the greatest advantage anyone can possess in a world hunting your kind. However, your actual power is laughably weak, highly specific, or fundamentally useless in a combat situation. You might have the ability to slightly change the color of inanimate objects, or maybe your body digests food at twice the normal rate. You are a mutant, but you are effectively powerless. As a Delta, your entire life is defined by a suffocating, deeply paranoid game of hiding in plain sight. You can go to school, you can have a career, and you can marry a human, but you are living with a ticking bomb inside your blood. The Delta experience is pure psychological torture. You watch the news as politicians debate the Mutant Registration Act, sweating coldly on your couch. You walk past heavily armed Sentinel patrols on the street, desperately trying to keep your heart rate down so their thermal scanners do not detect your anxiety. Every time you have a mandatory blood test for insurance, every time a new piece of mutant detecting technology is installed at an airport, you feel the noose tightening around your neck. You know that if your secret is ever discovered, your human friends will turn their backs on you. Your employer will fire you. and your perfectly normal life will evaporate in a matter of seconds. You have the curse of the mutant genome without any of the power required to defend yourself when a mob inevitably comes with their torches. You are a ghost, terrified of making a single sound. Moving up the hierarchy brings a drastic shift in reality. As a gamma-level mutant, you hit the genetic jackpot in terms of raw power, but you pay a devastating physical price. Your mutation grants you incredible superhuman abilities, massive strength, enhanced agility, or thick armored skin, but it completely and irreversibly mutates your body into something monstrous. You might look like a towering blue demon, a walking formation of jagged rocks, or a feral beast covered in thick fur. You are a powerhouse, capable of tearing a car in half or surviving a building collapsing on your head. But you can never again walk into a restaurant, hug a normal human, or experience the simple luxury of anonymity. When people look at you, they do not see a person. They see a terrifying apex predator. The tragedy of the Gamma Mutant is the absolute loss of humanity. Unlike the Epsilon, who is weak and deformed, you are strong and deformed. You are automatically drafted into the front lines of the mutant-human war because your appearance leaves you no choice. You join the X-Men or the Brotherhood of Mutants because they're the only people who will look at you without screaming. You become a soldier, relying on your monstrous exterior to intimidate and destroy the enemies of your species. But late at night, in the quiet of your quarters, you look down at your giant clawed hands or your stone-like flesh, and you desperately miss the feeling of soft human skin. You are a living weapon, feared by humans and relied upon by other mutants. But you are eternally trapped inside a biological prison of your own incredible power. If the universe decides to be particularly cruel, you manifest as a beta-level mutant. At first glance, you are the absolute envy of the mutant community. You maintain a flawless, perfect human appearance, and you possess devastating, world-class superpowers. You can project beams of pure concussive force from your eyes, where you can absorb the life, energy, and memories of anyone you touch. But there is a massive, fatal catch that ruins your entire existence. You have absolutely no inherent control over your power. It is always active, always radiating, always. You cannot turn it off. As a beta, your power is not a tool. It is a curse of extreme intimacy and isolation. You look like a normal human, but you are a walking biological hazard. The psychological toll of being a beta is uniquely devastating. If you shoot lasers from your eyes, you must wear specialized ruby quartz glasses every single second of your waking life. If your skin absorbs souls, you must wear heavy gloves and thick clothing, even in the dead of summer. You can never look your lover deeply in the eyes without a visor blocking your gaze. You can never feel the touch of another human being's bare skin against yours without instantly sending them into a fatal coma. Your life is an exercise in extreme, agonizing self-control. Every moment is spent holding back a floodgate of destruction. You isolate yourself emotionally because you know that one slip of concentration, one broken pair of glasses, or one torn glove will result in the immediate and horrific death of the people you care about most. You are a god trapped in a cage of your own making. Then there are the chosen few, the alpha-level mutants. If you are an alpha, you are the poster child for the next stage of human evolution. You possess a completely human appearance. You wield immense, devastating power, and crucially, you have absolute surgical control over it. You can manipulate magnetic fields, control the weather, or read the minds of everyone in a 10-mile radius. And you can turn this power on and off with the ease of blinking your eyes. You are the genetic lottery winner. You are what every mutant secretly wishes they could be. Because of your perfect control and normal appearance, you are immediately recruited by the highest factions of mutant society. You do not hide in the sewers, and you do not live in fear of touching a loved one. But being an alpha carries a tremendous, crushing burden of responsibility. Because you are so powerful and so capable, you are never allowed to live a peaceful life. You become the tip of the spear in an endless, brutal war for survival. You are expected to fly into combat against towering, 3-story tall, Sentinel robots, dodging laser fire that vaporizes the ground beneath you. You are expected to fight heavily armed hate groups, evil mutant supremacists, and cosmic threats that defy comprehension. Your life becomes an endless cycle of extreme violence, trauma, and leadership. The weaker mutants look up to you as a savior, and the human governments look at you as an immediate threat to national security. You carry the fate of your entire species on your broad, powerful shoulders, fighting a war that has no end in sight, watching your friends die in combat year after year. Finally, at the absolute apex of the evolutionary scale, sits the Omega-level mutant. If you are an Omega, you're no longer truly a mutant. You're a localized god. Your power has no definable upper limit. It cannot be measured, contained, or fully comprehended by human science. If an alpha can manipulate the weather, an Omega is the weather. You do not just control magnetism. You can tear the iron out of the blood of an entire army or reverse the magnetic poles of the planet Earth. You can rewrite the fundamental laws of reality, manipulate matter at a subatomic level, or reach into the minds of billions of people simultaneously. You are a living weapon of mass destruction, a walking extinction-level event. The true horror of being an Omega is the profound, terrifying alienation. When you can manipulate the fabric of reality with a mere thought, you lose all connection to humanity and even to other mutants. You look at people and you no longer see individuals. You see fragile, temporary arrangements of atoms that you could unmake with a sigh. The greatest threat to the entire planet is not a sentinel or a supervillain. It is your own mind breaking under the weight of your infinite power. You live in constant fear of having a bad day, because a moment of anger from you could accidentally shatter the tectonic plates and end civilization. Yet, as you float above the earth, possessing the power of a deity, you realize the ultimate bitter irony of the mutant existence. To the cold, calculating artificial intelligence of a sentinel robot, your rank does not matter. Whether you are a deformed Epsilon eating trash in the sewers, or an Omega god rewriting the cosmos, you share the exact same fate. You are an anomaly in the human genome, and they will not stop hunting until every last one of you is erased.